Last night I saw a superhero, he was black. He said, this is for the street, Black Lightning's back.
Hello to everyone and welcome back into the channel for this week's review of Black Lightning, our first review ever for this particular show. So listen, I've been watching this show ever since it came out in 2018, man. I've loved this show. I'm so excited to have a channel to be able to talk about it. So without any further ado, we start this week's episode with Jefferson at the cemetery visiting the gravesite of the fallen comrade Henderson, who died by the hands of the Markovians from the last season finale. Now, it is apparent by the shot that Jefferson has had a hard time dealing with his friend's death. His world has been turned upside down. Especially when, you know how superheroes do. They always feel like the person that dies that's close to them is their fault. And this is the case with Jefferson. Now, one thing that is exceptional about the show is the perpetual influence of the father figure, and in Jefferson's case, even though his father has long been passed, he somehow still finds ways to impart some type of wisdom, which is an aspect I really love about the show. In fact, what was spoken to him here at the cemetery in his own mind is what he actually speaks to the crowd during Henderson's ceremony. So yeah, his pop's influence is something that has a real impact on Jefferson. Then we transition to the scene that I think not only mirrors what happens in the pilot episode, but nowadays it's a lot more relevant. And I think this is what the show strives for. Now, whether he's right or wrong, the way he handled it, I think is because of two reasons. Number one, he had just came from the gravesite of visiting his friend who was a police officer, and just seeing how Henderson's comrades are treating a kid who Jefferson knows to be innocent or harmless. Simply put, just got under his skin. And then number two, the man is still grieving, so there's that. But in any case, thank God for Canby, right? Okay, so after the events of last season's finale, Nefessa's girlfriend, Grace, is still in the hospital and has been there for an entire year in a coma. And when Jennifer tries to tell Anissa maybe she should move on from Grace, Anissa brings up Khalil. And if you've been watching the show, Anissa might have had a point. And yes, good old marriage counseling. I think that's one thing in our lives that probably wouldn't hurt, but in any case. But you know what? The fact that they're even trying, and given what happened to Lynn by being hooked on drugs and all the episodes she had to go through in the last season, they've been through the ringer. Speaking of which, this is something I kind of want to touch on right now before I go back and do retro reviews of the show. The fact that this is such a positive show for a black family, and the fact that the mother got hooked on drugs, it's kind of like, but I digress. Gamby's got a new flame that came into town to do some business with him, or something else. But honestly, I wonder if this is going to be the last time we see her, if she's going to be connected somehow in the show moving forward. Now, it is here at this point that we get the big reveal that, of course, Tobias is back. This guy has lasted throughout the entire series and has been a beast of a character, of a villain. And frankly, I can't wait to see what he has up his sleeves moving forward in this show. And he's talking about making Freeland great again. Oh my God, it's going to be crazy. We get a nice brief cameo of Reginald C. Hayes from the Girlfriends series. I personally haven't seen him for a while. Now, as soon as the immediate Pierce family catches wind of Tobias Whale and his return, they do have an interesting conversation. Even though, as usual, in this episode as well, the girls are just reckless. They need the whole season just to get ready for him. But in any case, we have a new player on the board by the name of Brother Hassan, or Detective Hassan Shakur, who was recommended by Henderson. And I'm interested to see how he's going to work out in the show moving forward. Is he a bad guy in disguise, or is he going to hold true to Henderson's mission that he had in Freeland? Only time will tell. And what about your girl Lynn doing night missions with her speaking power that she got from Gravedigger? Her character has done virtually a 180 since how she was in the first episodes or the first season. So yes, I'm looking forward to see whether or not Lynn will kind of level out, so to speak, when it comes to her character. Good to see Lala up to his old tricks again. He gets rid of more fools than unused footage on my editing. It's ridiculous. None of this episode though. And lastly, Jefferson taking out the kid who shot his daughter. I wonder if that's going to come back to bite him, or if Hassan's going to get wind of this and really make it a big deal for him in this season. But that just about does it. Stay tuned in the Content Meta for more reviews like this. Hit the like and subscribe button. And until then, see you then.